Hello my friends, welcome to another Two Girls One Up video. I am Sakti and today I am going to be your captain as we traverse the Azurite Sea from Disney Lorcana's trading card game. The Azurite Sea is the latest expansion for Lorcana and it's brought a lot of support for all the different colors in the game, particularly blue, or as the game calls it, sapphire. It is a game that we have been playing since the beginning, and we went really hardcore into set championships, and we even attended the Atlanta Challenge, which was the first ever Lorcana Challenge. So, we are real Lorcana fans. Now, lately, I have been a little bit burnt out with the frequency of some of the sets that come out every quarter. I understand that this is just a standard schedule for a lot of the games. But, all of us end up being a little burnt out from games from time to time. So, while I am taking a step back from competitive play, I still very much love opening Azurite Sea packs and any other Lorcana expansion, so I am very excited to be bringing to you today's video focusing on the latest expansion, Azurite Sea. So, what do you say, TCG fam? Let us get traveling the sea. As we have shown in previous openings of Lorcana, each booster box contains 24 booster packs, and there are 12 cards per pack. So what are some of the chases in the Azurite Seas? Well, any form of enchanted card is always great, and there's many loved characters in this set, including Stitch and also Baymax. So, are you a fan of Disney? Let me know in the comments. Between left, right, and center. Why don't we go center this time around to keep some variety? As you may remember from previous videos, Disney is not so much focused on reducing life or killing opponents, but rather Lorcana focuses on the more mild side of actually gathering lore. So you are in this realm where there is ink that brings to life different versions of your very beloved characters. Like a Boo here, who happens to gain 2 lore every time he quests for lore. And he comes in with Rush. Gadget Hack Wrench. So yes, in this set we have the rescued rangers being featured, and Gadget here is one of them. Here we have Dale, yes, a friend in need for the yellow support. So each one of the colors, you have yellow, which is amber, then you have gray, which is steel, you have purple, that is amethyst, blue is sapphire, and then green is emerald. And so each one of the colors has very distinct objectives and mechanics that you can do. Now this is an interesting card because, as you can see, this is an action and a song. And of course, with this being Disney movies, you can make your characters sing some of these songs. I'm still here. Pixie Dust. The game also has items, and items exist in all colors. However, the very heavy item color is definitely sapphire, the blue one. Each character here has a summoning cost, so you don't have lands like Magic, but you have ink and characters that have this golden halo around the cost of ink that you need to play to summon the character. So you use some of these characters as your ink, so you can tap them and then summon them. This would be your character's strength and your character's defense or willpower. And of course, each one of them has different abilities depending on the card, as any TCG. Here we have Pete. I love me a good Pete. Here we have Jafar, yes, and Jafar is going to be highlighted in one of the future sets. So, like this, for example, that card cannot be inked, and thus you would need to pay the full cost. But this is a card draw. And lastly, this is something that they introduced on the third expansion, locations. So as we know, there are many emblematic places in all of the Disney universe, and some of them give you really interesting properties. For example, this is the Galactic Council Chamber. While you have an alien or robot character here, this location cannot be challenged. So this is the cost for moving a character here, and this is the defense of said location. And so in this case, this location provides you with lore every turn. And Lorcana introduces this really interesting puzzles, so we'll see if we can assemble it here at the end. As you can see here, so Stitch is featured on this booster pack art, and because this is an Azurite Sea, of course, this set is focused on pirates. Here we have Basil, Michael Darling, Nick Wilde, oh super cute, another Dale, Making Magic, so this is just an action, not a song. Here we have Hercules, so good old Herc. John Silver, I really like John Silver, and he looks younger on this one. That's an interesting card. And another Nick Wilde, the Sly Fox. Oh, here we have Mr. Smee capturing a little fairy. Oh, here is Zipper. He's super cute. Did you guys like Rescued Rangers while you were growing up? I thought it was a very cute series. Safe and Sound. Oh, that is so adorable. And so here we have a super rare, as you can see from this like almost diamond looking symbol. So in this case, this is Sisu, and this is a foil Sisu. And another piece of the puzzle. here we have Kakamora. So I'm wondering, guys, have you watched Moana 2? Do you have any intention of watching it? I think it's a fun movie, and hopefully we can go to see it in theaters here soon. We have Prepare to Board, so yes, very pirate and seafaring oriented. Sunglasses from Mr. Cobra Bubbles, from Lilo and Stitch. The Walrus. And then here we have another vessel and a Ground Council Woman. Oh yes, another one from Lilo and Stitch. Then we have Captain Hook. That's actually a very fun captain, because if you have him exerted, opposing pirate characters cannot quest. And whenever this character is challenged, you draw a card and he quests for 2. So essentially, you can also challenge your opponent's character, so you can essentially try to overcome their willpower. And so once you do that, if they're exerted, or if you damage through a song or an action, then they get to go into the opponent's graveyard. Energy Blast and a Donald Duck foil. So another parrot character and another piece of the puzzle. Another Prepare to Board in action. Moana herself, very nice. Sail the Azurite Sea. Nice, so you can get to draw a card with this one. Mr. Lidwalk. Yago. Oh, that parrot. And more Kakamora. Car Soldier Spear. Prepare Your Bot. Oh, yes, so they also feature this particular movie. Oh, here we have a Tuk Tuk and Mama Odie. And, oh, Bent to My Will. Super rare. So each opponent discards all cards in their hand. Nasty, nasty, but also very expensive. And here we have Juju in foil. Very cute. And the Stitch part of the puzzle. So far it's been a mild box. We haven't really pulled any legendaries, which are the essentially like mythics in Magic. So Adora Beazle Winter Pop, Aunt Cass, another Mr. Lidwalk, Making Magic with Mama Odie, Galactic Communicator, Jim Hawkins. I know, Nyx loves Treasure Planet. Here we have Tinkerbell, and we also have the Tinkerbell playmat right here. Mosquito Bite and Gopher. Oh my goodness, this Gopher. Like, he doesn't have such a high attack, but getting rid of him is such a pain. And he quests for 2. Here we have a Mr. Shmee. Oh, Captain of the Jolly Roger. Super rare. Oh, and talking about legendaries, here we have our very first legendary of the box, Wreck-It Ralph. So as you can see, he is uninkable, but he's strong enough, and he quests for a lot, so gains you a lot of lore. So whenever this character quests, you may banish chosen item or location to gain 2 lore. So if there is any item that is bothering you, or any location that is hard to get rid of, Wreck-It Ralph can get rid of you and net you 5 lore. Nice. And here we have a very cute Nick Wilde. Alright, first legendary of the box. Here is Dawson, oh, very cute mousy, a gold coin, a yokai, Simba, oh, there is a legendary Simba in this set that is absolutely gorgeous. Here is Genie, and then King Hubert, Aladdin. Actually, I like this Aladdin. You can shift him for 2, and then when you play this character, your characters get +2 strength this turn. So it's actually pretty nice. Dr. Delbert Doppler, a training dummy, so an item. Here we have Tadashi Hamada, so ambush. This card actually came in super clutch when I was doing the draft, when the set came out. And a Toodles foil. Very cute. We begin with a Michael Darling, a jumbo pot that helps you heal and also draw a card. Oh, a very cute Rue, the littlest pirate. That is so adorable. Yago, Alistar Cray. I don't know where this guy is from, which movie. Mr. Arrow. Oh, another one that I like. He also has resist 1, which means that every time something damages him, you are going to remove 1. So sometimes you can have resist 2 or resist 3, depending. A very good card is Diablo. He doesn't have any strength, and you can get rid of him real fast, and he only costs 1 and is inkable. However, when this character is banished, so whenever he is removed from the field, you may draw a card, which is super nice, because it's one of the most difficult things to control in Lorcana, keeping your hand full. Oh, Chip and Dale, that's funny. This is the first time I see this card. Very nice. And then we have a Madam Mim. Oh, I absolutely love Madam Mim. It's the ugly, old, blah, blah, blah. She's so funny. I really like her. And here we have a Baymax. So 0, 4, and costs 3, but he's inkable, and then quests for 2. Wow. And so if you have an inventor character in play, you pay 1 less to play this character. So you can make like an inventor deck and be able to take him out for very cheap. And another puzzle piece. Oh, a Stitch. And so it is really interesting because what they did with this Stitch, and I'm not sure if you can see here, I think wasn't it the right here, the 26 or 204? So there is a card, and I'm pretty sure it is this card that corresponds to Stitch's experiment number from the movie. So while the rest of the cards around this by number are actually yellow, so amber, he is smack right there in the middle with green, so with emerald. I thought that was a funny prank from the game designers. Here's our Abu, a Jumbo Pop, Chip, the Carpenter. I don't remember this guy either. Twin Fire, the Longboat, so that's Treasure Planet, Wasabi, another Jim Hawkins, and this is actually a fun one too. You can shift him, and then when you play this character, you may deal 1 damage to chosen character or location, and he's a 5/5, so he's kind of hard to get rid of. Unless you do something like Zeus him. The Gogo Tomago, and oh, very cool, a Scar, the Heartless Hunter. So when you play this character, deal 2 damage to chosen character of yours to deal 2 damage to another chosen character. And so for those of you who play the game, you may recognize this card as essentially being Teeth and Ambitions that does the exact same thing. So he's a 4/2, very little power, but he quests for 3. Very nice. And another Scar, and this one actually has Rush and Challenger +3. So if you send him to attack someone, he can do up to 7 damage, and he's got a beefy 4 and quests for 2. So overall, a really good card. A little expensive, but you know, it's a trade-off. Alright, my friends, now that we have gone through a third of the box, I just want to ask you, how has your week been going? How is the day going? And most importantly, how are you feeling? I hope that everything is going well with your lives, and that if there is something that is bothering you, or if you happen to be sick, or you know, there are always certain challenges that we face. I hope that you passed by them swiftly and that these get resolved. And I hope that you're getting the relaxation and the time that you deserve to recharge and to keep moving forward. And if things keep still being bad, remember, you have a family in this TCG channel of ours, because it is yours too. And together we are a TCG fam. So thank you for your support. So now let us continue going through the rest of the box. I hope that these scars have brought you some of that Disney nostalgia that a lot of us grew up with, you know, from seeing or watching The Lion King or Pinocchio or, you know, Moana. There's just so many Disney movies that are classic, and that are classic and new, and classic and old. So let us keep moving forward and sailing the Azurite Seas. We begin with Theory by Avu, Sourbill, very cute Rue, Sisu. Oh my goodness, Sisu is just so cool. It is such a cool like design and dragon. I really like her. Heathcliff, another John Silver that I actually like a lot. And because when you play this character, chosen character can challenge during their next turn. A magic carpet. Ooh, very nice. Very cheap, and then can quest for 3. It would have been amazing if it had something like evasive, which is the equivalent of flying since it is a magic carpet, but that would have been too crazy. A Donald Duck. Dale. Oh, very cute. And Mr. Big. Mr. Big is so funny because not only, I mean, he's expensive and it's only a 1/1, but quest for 3. And this character cannot be challenged by characters with 2 strength or greater. So by the time you hit your 4 ink, it is going to be really tough for any opponent to just be able to summon characters that are cheap strength. So it is an interesting take for sure. And here we have Gadget Hack Wrench, a super rare. And it's one of those inventor characters. So while you have 3 or more items in play, you play 1 less to play inventor characters. So you can start seeing some of the synergy with these new archetypes and inventor stuff. And of course, here we got our Tigger. I love Tigger. And something that people have constantly pointed out is that here are all the classifications of the character. It's a storyborn, it's a hero, it's a pirate, but it is also a Tigger. And remember, he is the only Tigger that there is, so he is on a class of its own. Huh, this is an interesting one I hadn't seen before. A Fred, the mascot by day. I wonder which movie this is from. Markowski, State Trooper. Aunt Cass, I Won't Give In. Oh, Gazelle, So essentially Shakira. Here we have another Tinkerbell. We got Mullins, John Darling. Oh, interesting. I did not see John Darling before, and I did not remember him at all. I did remember Michael, but not John. Oh, here is Yokai. Ooh, so this is another one of those crazy sapphire color support, because whenever this character quests, you may return one of your items to your hand to pay 2 less for the next item you play this turn. So it's a 3/3, is inkable, and then quests for 2. That is crazy. Oh, the unfortunate situation. Monterey Jack. Oh my goodness. I remember this guy from Rescued Rangers. He loved that stinky cheese, and he is so beefy and quests for a lot. Wow. Oh, very cool. So our second legendary is going to be Princess Tiana, the restaurant owner. A legendary, it's a 3-cost uninkable, and she's a 1/4. So she could be a little tough to get rid of. Quests for 2. And whenever a character of yours is challenged while this character is exerted, the challenging character gets -3 strength for this turn unless their player plays 3 ink. So that is nasty. It's essentially not allowing your opponent to target more than one character at a time. That's really scary. And here we have a Naboo. So let us put Tiana in a sleeve. And I know that Nyx played against someone who happened to pull this Tiana during the sealed draft, and she did not appreciate having to deal with her because she is such a pain. All right, well, let us continue, TCG fam. This box is interesting. We haven't had as many legendaries as other boxes, but I think, let us keep opening. We still have a full left side, so let us keep plowing through. Oh, Kakamura's Gadget, Chief Bogo, who loves Gazelle. That's so cute. We got Genie, Gazelle herself. I really like how they made her be Shakira. Another Galactic Council. Ooh, another Scar. A Transport Pod. Rescue Rangers Away. The Owl Island. Oh, interesting. Okay. So, interesting location for each character you have in play. You have here, you pay 1 less for the first action you play each turn. And whenever you play a second action in a turn, you gain 3 lore. It's kind of hard to pull off, but it's an interesting concept. And here we have another legendary, which I find interesting. It's not very often that you find consecutive legendaries. Alright, very cute Hercules, baby Hercules. He's got ward, so that means that he cannot be selected for effects. So for examples, different songs can say like you can deal damage to a chosen character. So because it says chosen, you can't choose this character. So it's actually real nice. You can pay 3 to deal 1 damage to chosen damage character. And he's a 6/3, so he's not that beefy, but he does quests for 2. And another Rescue Rangers Away in foil. Three legendaries so far, and we've opened about 8, maybe like 12, 13 packs so far. So we still have a fair amount left. We begin with Alistair Gray, a Mickey Mouse. It's interesting that we haven't seen a lot of Mickeys in these new sets, but they're actually focusing on other series. Baymax Helker Chip, 100-acre island. During an opponent's turn, whenever a character is banished while here, you gain 1 lore. So I did play this during the draft, and it came in handy. Oh, from Maui, the islands I pulled from the sea. Yes, with his hook. The microbots. Oh, Pluto. So we pulled Mickey, now we pulled Pluto. I think that's an appropriate, chain of events. Here we have, finally, Wendy Darling. And I like this Wendy because she has evasive, which is essentially the equivalent of flying in Magic. And while you have another character in play, this character gets +1 strength and gains +1 lore. So she is hard to get rid of, like when you're beginning. Oh, another Madam Mim. I love the Mim. And a 100-acre island foil. A Michael Darling. Nick Wilde. Dale. Making Magic. Prepare to Board. Jim Hawkins. Lose the Way. A Megabot. Prince Naveen. Very cool. I like the outfit. Winnie the Pooh. Oh, very, very, very cute. When I was a kid, I loved Winnie the Pooh. With Christopher Robin. It was so adorable. Oh, here we have the Stitch, the Pirate Stitch. When you play this character, if you use Shift to play him, you may put an action card from your discard on the top of your deck. Very nice. Oh, and we got the Baymax Legendary, and it's the foil one. Very nice. Alright, so what does this one do? So it is a 2/6, but it is an inkable 5. When you play this character and whenever he quests, you may remove up to 2 damage from another chosen character of yours. Gain lore for each 1 damage removed this way. Very cool. And there is actually a card named Grand Pavy that whenever you heal a character, you also gain 1 lore per every point healed. So this is extremely great synergy with this particular card. Very interesting. Another Gazelle. Aladdin. The Institute of Technology. They gain 1 more extra health or willpower. And at the start of your turn, if you have a character here, you gain 1 lore. Very nice. Naveen's Ukulele. A School Rock. Oh, it's another pirate team location. Characters get gain 1 strength while here, and at the start of your turn, if you have a pirate character here, you gain 1 lore. Very nice. Here's Kahoot, Penelope, Hiro Hamada, Hot Potato, Cobra Bubbles. I like this man. He was so funny in Lilo and Stitch. Another very cute Tigger. And foil Kakemora. We begin with Moana. Sail the Azurite Sea, Mr. Litwalk, Yago, Heffalumps, and Wuzzles. Chosen opposing character can quest during their next turn and you get to draw a card. Very nice. King Hubert, Peter Pan, Honey Lemon, a Chip, a Mystical Tree. Oof. That is a lot. At the start of your turn, you may move 1 damage counter from chosen character here to chosen opposing character. And at the start of your turn, if you have a character named Mama Odie here, you gain 1 lore. Very nice. Here we have the Yokai and a Carpenter foil. And the last pack from the right side. A perilous mace. Rafiki. I love Rafiki. Such a cool guide. Gadget hack wrench. A rabbit. Oh, you know, I hadn't seen Rabbit as a pirate, but he's super cute, and it makes sense with making all the Winnie the Pooh characters as pirates. The white rose. Oh, that is so beautiful. The jewel of the garden. Copper bubble sunglasses. Here we have Jasmine. Oh my goodness, this Jasmine can be so absolutely nasty on draft. Well, she is inkable, and then you can get her out by turn 3, which is actually pretty good. And she is a 2/3, which is also quite good at the early stages of the game. She quests for 2, and then whenever this character quests, each opponent loses 1 lore. So if you combine her, and this is something that my opponent while we were playing draft was doing, there is an item that I think we just passed by called the longboat, that if you pay 3 ink, you can make Jasmine evasive. So she essentially gets really hard to hit unless you have any removal action or anything else, or an evasive character that can deal with her. Otherwise, every time she quests, you lose 1 lore. Very nasty. Oh, Prickly. Another Mickey. Oh, super rare. Mickey Mouse. Whenever this character quests, chosen pirate character gets +2 strength and gains this character takes no damage from challenges this turn. Very nice. Alright, so it's essentially like you enable other characters to be a beating stick. And here we have a super rare location, the Sugar Rush Speedway. When you move a character here from a location, you may banish this location to gain 3 lore and draw 3 cards. So this pairs up really well. As you can see, it costs a lot to move a character here. But there are characters, I think a Vanellope Bonchouise, that can move to a location for free at the start of your turn. So you can avoid that, gain 3 lore and draw 3 cards. It's a pretty good location. Oh, and this is the item I was telling you about. And you don't pay 3, you pay 2, so it's actually even more accessible. Choose a character of yours gains evasive until the start of your next turn. Oof, that was nasty. Alright, my friends. Well, from the right side, we actually got the most number of legendaries, including Baymax, Hercules, and also Tiana. From the center, we just got Wreck-It Ralph. So we are at 4 so far. Let us see what we get from the left side. A Skull Rock, Gadget, I Won't Give In, the White Rose, Dawson, Hercules, Magic Carpet, Honey Lemon, Scrump, Raya, Captain Amelia, that Nyx absolutely loves, so I really like her too. And a Jumbo Pop. Okay, I'm going to move these to the side just to make a little bit more space. And let us continue. Another Gazelle, Adora Beazle Winter Pop, on Cass, Mr. Litwalk, Making Magic, Kekamora, Jasmine, the very nasty Jasmine, Hiro Hamada, we have Training Dummy, oh, the Genie. So this Genie is actually really fun to play. Even though he is somewhat expensive and uninkable, he quests for 2 and is a 2/4, and he's got evasive, so that's actually pretty great. So when you play this character, you get to draw a card. Oh, here on Flaversham. So for those of you who play Lorcana, you may know the Hiram Flaversham. That is a 4-cost inkable, and then when he enters, you can pop an item to draw 2 cards. So it's essentially, oh, whoa, my friends, we actually pulled an Enchanted. All right, but let me just finish my rant about Flaversham. He is stable with the other card in every blue deck because he gives you card draw. He's a 1/6 and he is impossible to get out of the field. But there are cards that can deal with him. Anyways, well, we did get an Enchanted, and it is Maleficent Staff. So it is an item, and it says back fools. Whenever one of your opponent's characters, items, or locations is returned to their hand from play, you gain 1 lore. Yes, very nice. And as you can see, this is an amethyst item, so a purple color. And amethyst, one of the mechanics that it is characterized by is bouncing characters to your hand. So if you have this spell out and then you bounce like some of the Madame Mims or the Merlins, then you automatically gain 1 lore, which is actually really great. Very nice. Okay. And this set, the theme for the Enchanted is essentially like this more minimalistic sepia coloring for the Enchanted. And you know, personally, I'm not such a huge fan. However, I can see that the aesthetic is nice. Here you have the Maleficent shadow with the staff, so it's super cool. And you know, I think they look a little better in person than what we just saw online. They're very shiny. They're keeping with the new style of Enchanteds. So good for Ravensburger and for the Lorcana game to actually try different sets of Enchanteds each time. I think that if they're experimenting, they're seeing what the player base likes, and obviously some people really love this type of Enchanteds while others didn't that much. But you know, I think an Enchanted is an Enchanted, so I am glad that we got to pull one for this video. It is our first Enchanted on video, my TCG fam. We continue with Markowski, the Institute of Technology, the Vince Ukulele, Tinkerbell, Stitch, Goat, Loosed Away, Megabot, Prince Naveen, a Nanny. Interestingly, this is the very first time that I see Nanny. I've seen the boyfriend, but not Nanny herself before. Oh, Goofy. And as an inventor, actually, I thought he was going to be a pirate. That is very interesting. So he's expensive, but he's inkable, and it's a 1/4. But he's got ward, so that's actually super nice. And he quests for 3. Oh my goodness. So whenever this character quests, chosen character gains ward until the start of your next turn. That is a pretty good ability. And a Tok, a shiny foily Tok. Galactic Communicator, Michael Darling, Jumbo Pop, oh, Rue, so cute and beautiful, Yago, the Cobra Bubble sunglasses, Penelope von Schweetz. So that's this is not the card that I was telling you about, but it's from the same character that moves you to that location for free. Hot Potato, Goofy, oh, a 5/5 with Russian evasive. That's actually pretty good, although a little expensive. And we got a Mad Hatter. Very nice. And it's a super rare, so let us see. We'll have to look into this. Whenever this character quests, you may look at the top card of chosen player's deck, put it on top of their deck or into their discard. Ooh, that is nasty. He can get really out of hand real quick. And prepare to board, Shiny. Gold coin, Ven, chip, a fairy ship. That's actually a nice one because it's cheap and it gives you a lore, like right off the bat. Fred, the twin fire, the March hare, Prince Philip, Chip, Alice. Oh, very nice. And this Alice is actually interesting. So she's uninkable, but that's not a problem when you're playing Sapphire. Sapphire has one of these mechanics that is called ramp, which essentially allows you to put additional ink. So by turn 3, while your opponent, let's say if they started first, by turn 3 you can get up to like 4 ink, or sometimes 5 depending on what you're playing. So this is good. Oh yes, and she has ward, and whenever this character quests, another chosen character of yours gets +1 a lore and gains a ward until the start of your next turn. So pretty decent. Oh, and this Lilo is actually very interesting. Why? Well, she's cheap, she's inkable, she's a 1/2, so that's alright, but she quests for 2. But her funny ability is that at the start of your turn, if this card is in your discard, so essentially your graveyard, you may play her and she enters play exerted. So Nix and I call her the zombie Lilo. So it's like that also card from Magic, the skeleton zombie I think it is called, that you can get them back from the graveyard. Nice. And lead the way. Heffalumps and Woozles, Thievery, Sourbill, Rue, Sisu, beautiful Sisu, John Silver, Kakamora, Hey Hey, Billy Bones. Another Kakamora, but this looks like the boss Kakamora. Oh, we could be immortals. That's an interesting one. You know, I haven't really watched this movie before, so maybe that's something that I'm gonna have to do one of these weekends as a homework. And Mama Odi foil. Okay, TCG fam, we only have 2 packs left. We managed to pull so far 4 legendaries and then 1 enchanted. So not a bad box at all. Let us see if we can at least pull another legendary, you know? Shoot for the moon, and even if you don't make it, you land among the stars. Lead the way, Nick Wilde, Simba, Rafiki, Toodles, Galactic Council Chamber, Peter Pan, Transport Pod, Dale. Oh, Kanga, so adorable. Oh, very good. Well, our wish was granted. Here we have another legendary, and this is Isma, Amethyst Isma. If you can tap her, and if you have fewer than 3 cards in your hand, draw until you have 3 cards in your hand. So that's actually pretty good. She refills your hand, and she quests for 2. So that's really nice. And the beans ukulele. Ukulele. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Alright, very good. Okay, I am satisfied now, but we still have 1 pack left. Well, here we have Heathcliff, Kakamora, Gadget, Chief Bogo, Genie, Jim Hawkins, Aladdin, Dr. Delbert Doppler, Mickey, Treasure Mountain. That's a new one. We haven't seen this before. It's a 5 cost uninkable, but it's a 9 health essentially. At the start of your turn, deal damage to chosen character or location equal to the number of characters here. Ooh, can get nasty soon. Olivia Flaversham. Oh, I didn't know Hiram had a sister. Or oh no, it's a daughter. The toy maker's daughter. That is so cute. Oh my goodness. And then she quests for 3. That's crazy. And our final card is a foil yokai. Very cool, TCG fam. Alright, well, I have to say that I had fun opening this box. We got a lot of really good cards. We got a lot of legendaries. And importantly, we also got an Enchanted. Enchanteds are always great. And it's good at least to pull one from your box and 1 per set. I know in previous occasions, in certain sets, like, people have had really terrible luck and haven't been able to pull an Enchanted. So to actually get one was really nice. All right, well, let us go over what we got. Let us showcase here our Enchanteds, our legendaries. So here we have our legendary Isma, our legendary Baymax from Sapphire, legendary Hercules, so from Emerald. And this is an interesting card, so we'll see how much he gets played. Tiana, very nice card, very good. Somewhat, I guess the cost makes it easier for her to go out early, and she's a very good addition to Amber. In addition to that Simba that we didn't manage to pull, but I'm just gonna link a picture over here, and he essentially allows your characters to go back after questing from an exerted position to an upwards position so they don't get killed. And here we have a Wreck-It Ralph, which is pretty nice because he can get rid of some of those cards that are difficult to get out, like the items and the locations. And finally, here is our Enchanted card, which is Maleficent's Staff. So this is an item. I am unsure right now what the cost of this one would be. However, with this cost and with this property, I am sure that it's one of the cards that would be at least considered for gameplay, because it is such a good effect, you simply just cannot pass it. It's a cheap item that gives you lore every time you bounce, and every Sapphire deck bounces. So it's free lore that you are not just going to deny. What do you think, my friends? How did you like the Azurite Sea box? Have you had a chance to play Lorcana at all? As I was explaining throughout the video, it has straightforward mechanics. It is essentially non-complex magic, so it's easy to pick up, it's fast, and it doesn't really take like a lot of thinking. There's no interruptions on whenever you are having your turn. You essentially just, your turn goes and you cannot interrupt your opponent, and your opponent cannot interrupt you. So a much easier system compared to other games. I want to know your opinion about the set, about the pulls, and most importantly, I want to know what is your favorite Disney movie. Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much, TCG fam. We are looking forward to the next videos. We have some Yu-Gi-Oh coming, and then a new trading card game that one of our new TCG family members introduced us to. So stay tuned for that. And of course, we're approaching the end of the year, so we're going to be putting out a video telling you, TCG fam, how the channel is doing, what we're thinking, and what our plans are for 2025. So Thank you so much for watching. If you're not part of our channel, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.